5,000 years, every sentient species competed. Every species brought their most lethal warriors. The championship determined not just prestige, it
Soldiers,
determined trade
the
rights,
time is now.
territorial expansion,
We march to
and
victory!
access to the wormholes that connected civilizations across space. For 5,000 years, humanity had never qualified. Not because they couldn't fight, but because
We
the rest
stand
of the
united
galaxy
for
assumed they couldn't.
victory!
Earth was classified as a soft world. Low gravity, abundant resources, no apex predators worth mentioning. Species that evolved in such conditions were assumed to be weak. The Dominion races, evolved on high-gravity death worlds, dominated every bracket. The Ethereals, with their enhanced neural reflexes, won the tactical divisions. The Valorians, with their genetic combat optimization, took the strength categories. Humanity was a joke. Then Captain Kira Volkov submitted her entry application. She was a 34-year-old woman from Earth. No genetic enhancements, no biological modifications, no technological augmentations beyond the standard neural interface. When the Galactic Council reviewed her application, they laughed. Literally laughed. The amphitheater broadcast of her submission became a meme across 3 solar systems. But Kira didn't withdraw. She showed up. The preliminary rounds were held in the Combat Nexus, a station orbiting a binary star system. 20,000 fighters from 300 species gathered. The strongest, fastest, most lethal warriors in the galaxy assembled to prove their dominance. Kira was assigned to fight a Krell warrior named Vexthorn in the opening match. The Krell evolved on a planet with 2.3 times Earth's gravity. Their skeletal structure was reinforced with crystalline deposits. Their muscle density was 3 times that of humans. Vexthorn had killed 47 opponents in previous championships. When Kira entered the ring, the crowd didn't boo. They simply ignored her. Commentators were already discussing the next match. The bookmakers didn't even offer odds. It was considered a formality. Vexthorn charged. What happened next shocked the amphitheater into silence. Kira didn't meet the charge. She sidestepped with impossible precision, and as Vexthorn thundered past, she grabbed his arm and used his own momentum against him. The massive Krell crashed into the energy barrier. The crowd gasped. Vexthorn rose, fury in his compound eyes. He attacked again with a tactical sequence designed to overwhelm through sheer overwhelming force. But Kira had spent 30 years studying combat. Not just one discipline, dozens: Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, Kung Fu, Judo, wrestling. Systems created by humans fighting each other across centuries. See, humans had discovered something that the genetically optimized species had forgotten: how to think during combat. Every species bred for combat had done so by selecting for physical superiority. Their fighters were faster, stronger, more durable, but they fought with patterns, genetic memory encoded into their very biology, optimal sequences, proven tactics. Humans, lacking genetic advantages, had been forced to innovate, to adapt, to think. Kira used a technique called breaking posture, something invented on Earth specifically to neutralize size and strength advantages. She collapsed Vexthorn's balance, and using leverage rather than force, dropped him to the ground. Then she applied a submission hold that, despite the Krell's superior strength, exploited the weakness in his skeletal architecture that she had identified in the opening seconds of the fight. Vexthorn tapped out. The amphitheater erupted, not in cheers, in confusion. Then, slowly, understanding began to spread through the crowd. The commentators, trained to observe every detail, began breaking down what had happened. The human, she wasn't trying to overpower. She was problem-solving. Kira's next opponent was a Valorian named Skardis, genetically bred specifically for combat efficiency, enhanced reflexes, optimized muscle-to-weight ratio. A warrior with 127 consecutive victories, Skardis had never lost. The fight lasted 43 seconds. Kira didn't win through strength. She won through understanding human psychology applied to combat. She used feints, fake movements designed to trigger predictable responses in genetically optimized fighters. She baited him into overcommitting. Then she capitalized. By the semifinals, the entire galaxy was watching. Kira faced a Dominion enforcer named Krellvok who had won the championship 3 times. The enforcer was confident. He had studied her fights. He understood her tactics now. He would simply apply superior speed and strength to overcome her technique. But what Krellvok didn't understand was that humans had evolved to hunt, not through strength, through persistence, coordination, and the ability to predict prey behavior. For 200,000 years, humans had tracked animals across continents. They had learned to identify patterns in movement, to anticipate behavior, to maintain focus through exhaustion. The fight became a masterclass in human endurance. Krelvok was faster in the beginning, stronger. But over the course of the match, Kira maintained position. She didn't waste energy on flashy strikes. She controlled space, controlled breathing, controlled tempo. She made her opponent work harder than necessary. By the third round, Krelvok was exhausted. Humans trained for this, to fight when tired, to keep moving when every muscle screamed to stop. Because on Earth, survival wasn't about being the strongest, it was about being the last one standing. Kira won. The crowd stood in absolute silence. The championship finals came down to Kira against the three-time ethereal champion, a being whose neural processing allowed them to calculate 3 moves ahead at all times, an opponent who literally thought faster than any other competitor. Kira did something unexpected. She moved slowly, deliberately, giving the ethereal every opportunity to predict her movements. The ethereal calculated and responded perfectly. But here was the problem. Prediction requires patterns, and Kira had no pattern. Every attack was different, every combination unique. She didn't repeat because she was thinking, adapting in real time to her opponent's reactions. The ethereal's greatest advantage, predictive calculation, became useless when facing someone improvising faster than they could calculate. When Kira won the championship, the galaxy fell silent. A human, from the soft world, from the species everyone assumed was weak, had just defeated every warrior in existence. As Kira stood in the victor's circle, the Galactic Council president approached her. "How?" he asked simply. Kira smiled. "Earth trains for something you forgot about. We train to survive. Not to be perfect, not to be the strongest, just to survive, to adapt, to keep fighting when logic says we should quit." She looked across the amphitheater at 3,000 warriors from 300 species. "You were all bred for victory. We were built for persistence." The championship rules changed that day. The galaxy began sending observers to Earth to study what humans had been doing all along. Not training bodies for combat, but training minds to solve problems when everything else failed. And for the first time in 5,000 years of Galactic Combat Championship, the trophy belonged to the species everyone had underestimated. Because Earth had always known, the greatest weapon isn't strength, it's refusal to quit.
Kindly like and subscribe channel. Thank you.